It is simple. It's not always easy, and it can be bloody frustrating at times. For instance, a good frustration for me is people who've come out with that dreaded "I'll think about it" objection.
Oh God, the worst one. The worst one.
Yeah, it is. And they go away and they don't really think about it at all. I mean, I got so sick and tired of it, I figured out ways to stop it coming up. We'll come to those in a minute. But because what I found was when people say, I'll go away and think about it, they don't.
No.
It's effectively a no. I can think of only two people. I can only think of two people, yeah, who've said I'll think about it and have actually come back and said yes. And that's in 8 years. Because most people just don't. I mean, sometimes it's just a no that they're afraid to say. But then if it's like all things, you need to take responsibility for this. You need to take responsibility for your prospect's reaction to you. Now that might sound a bit strange coming from a stoic, but bear with me a minute. What I mean by that is if you allow them to say, I'll think about it, that's on you. You've permitted it. Because what we started doing, as you know, and this is more for the listener than for Connor, obviously. What we started doing was we made it so I'll think about it was not an allowable answer at the end of a sales call.
Yeah.
Because what we would say right at the beginning of the call in the kind of the preamble would be, it may be, just paraphrasing it, we'll go through your challenges. We'll see if we can come put together a plan to solve your problems. If we can, I may invite you to join me in mentoring. If I do, I want you to give me a yes or a no. Is that okay? If you've got questions, I'll answer them. But by the end of the call, I want a yes or a no. Is that okay? And if they ever said no, it's not, I would say, well, we're not doing the call then. And we can reschedule the call to a point where you would either say yes or no. Either's fine, but I want one or the other. And I would say, because when people say they're going to go and think about it, nothing happens or they don't solve the problem. It would be a waste of my time and a waste of yours. Now, some people say, oh, that's high pressure. No, it isn't. It's not high pressure selling. It is pressure of a kind, meaning I'm expecting a decision from you. But that's because it's my time. I'm not wasting my time on someone who might say, I'm going to go and think about it. I'm going to spend my time and give you value on the phone. You are going to give me something in return. Quid pro quo, like we talked about the other day. My quid pro quo is I want an answer from you. And now twice I've had people renege on that at the end of the call. And both times I've said, well, the first time it happened, and I mean only twice as well. So in all the calls I've done, and when I've been doing that for a couple of years now, I've only ever had two people break their word. The first one said, I'm going to go away and think about it, and I'll join you later. I'll come back to you. And I said, no, you won't. I said, because you've just broken your word. You've lied to me. If you're prepared to lie to me about this, I don't know what else you're going to lie about. So don't bother. We're done. And the second one was even funnier. The guy says, oh, I'm not deciding now. And he starts kind of equivocating. He starts sort of mouthing off with things. I stopped him and said, listen, I'm going to make this really easy for you. I'm withdrawing my offer. You can't join me because you've just broken your word. And I know from experience, if you do join us, you won't do what I tell you to do. This is not going to end well. So I'm going to take the decision away from you.
He started chatting shit and all, didn't he? I remember.
Oh, he was all right.
He chatted some shite, some utter fucking shit.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's just another kind of filter as well.
Yeah, it is. It's a massive filter of who we will and won't allow to work with us. I'll think about it. But then I can already guarantee there's people going, well, that's unfair. It's high pressure and this, that, and the other. But as you said, you state it very clearly up front. And if they're not comfortable with that, they can leave. We're not holding them captive and spurring it onto them. And secondly, that when we was running that sales process, because obviously it's different now, that sales process was fucking epic to be a part of. Even the people that said no thoroughly enjoyed the process because the calls genuinely are valuable. They got something out of it, didn't they? Yeah, the call they have with me, they get something out of. The call they have with you, they get something out of. So,
yeah, I mean, it's really important to be clear here. This is not high pressure selling because, as you said, we tell them up front, and they can leave before they get into it. You know, in the first 5 or 10 minutes, they can leave, and there's nothing else to be said. If they want my time, something from an hour on the phone, that's just a problem. That's just something I'm asking for in return. That's not high pressure.
It's courtesy.
What would be high pressure would be getting to the end, not saying anything, getting to the end of the call, and almost keeping them on the call until they give you a yes or a no. A little bit like a fucking sleazy double glazing salesman who won't leave your living room until you've signed, until you've agreed to say yes. And I've heard of people doing that.
Yeah, constant objection.
I won't mention the firm in case it's wrong, and I want to get fucking sued. But it's a very popular firm, and I've heard of people who've actually turned the lights out and gone to bed and left the salesman sitting in the chair.
That's crazy.
Because he just wouldn't fucking leave. I don't understand how that happened. I would just fucking throw him out. I'd say, you either leave or I throw you out. One way or the other, you're going out the house. Pick a window.
Pick a window, and then I'll sign the form because I'll need a new one.
Yeah, so but that's people for me
to throw you through, and then I'll sign your fucking form. But, I don't know why that's tickled me.
That would be high pressure, getting to the end of the call and springing it on them and getting funny with them. But right at the beginning, just say, I want a decision, yes or no, at the end of it, if I invite you to join. If you're not prepared to do that, then I'm not prepared to do the call.